Black love. Not just any black love, but African, Nigerian black love. Very heavy in the culture because Africans in general, Nigerians believe that when you said till death do us part, you meant that. Even if the marriage is not the best, they're like, we die here. I am Soomtee Titilayo Ajama, daughter to Yoruba mother and Igbo father. Both of them were forces in their own way. My mom, dark, melanin, beauty, smart, industrious, very hardworking, humble. And she was just a lover. You know, when you love? Yeah, that was my mom. My dad, on the other hand, very well spoken, very handsome, fair complexioned, which is probably why I have a soft spot for fair complexioned guys. He was also very intelligent and very funny. Now imagine two strong personalities coming together from two different tribes, two dominant tribes in Nigeria. My dad was also the first son in his family, which meant that he had to carry on the legacy with a boy child, which my mother didn't have. And I actually low-key think that the whole expression of my parents' marriage was probably because my father wasn't proud of the family that he had built, being that he didn't have a son. And I also low-key think my mom was also trying to compensate for that, which is why she was practically the perfect wife. My dad lost his job very early, probably when I was about 4 or 5, tried a lot of businesses, didn't work, got another job, a stable job, probably when I was about 13 or 14. So my mom bore a lot of the financial weight of the family, but she never once made it look like it. She always got things for him, always gave him money to do his own thing. He was one doing all the driving. Looking from the outside, you would never tell. But as I grew up, we began to see how things played out, and it wasn't the best. My father was the exception to the popular perception of Igbo men, which is Igbo men take care of their wives. But clearly, my mother did not think so because she would tell us categorically, Mafe Igbo, that was in Yoruba, which meant in English, don't marry an Igbo man. Clearly because of all the things that she had seen in the course of the marriage. Black love through the lens of my parents' marriage was not aspirational because there were so many things that were wrong and not very many things that were right. When my father got a better job, we expected that things financially would change, being that my mother bore most of the financial weight, but that never really happened. And I remember asking him one time, and he said something along the lines of, she's been doing it for so long, she doesn't need my help anymore. And I understood that, but I also felt it was just an excuse, just a crutch for him to do things the way he wanted without exactly putting family first. Which is why I would like to marry a man who puts family first, always. There's so many things unsaid in the course of this podcast, but all of this to say that my father was a good man, was very helpful to people around him, was a fantastic boss. All of this we found out at his burial, but maybe he wasn't the best father or husband. Black love through the lens of my parents' marriage was not modeled positively, and it was further worsened by the African culture, as the fact that though the marriage was not the best, it was not enough reason for my mother to consider divorce. God knows I suggested it a number of times, but she would always say, oh no, we don't do things like that. Black love in Africa is not the best. Women are viewed as homebreakers if they decide to leave even after being treated badly. The African expression of black love felt like it exonerated men from consequences and placed most of that responsibility on women. It brings to mind the idea of black love being synonymous to struggle love. That's the popular narrative. But it doesn't have to be that way. And I'm talking about this not just from the financial standpoint of struggle love. There's so much more to the African connotation of submission, but we can change that going forward. Younger people know better now, and I'm hoping to God that they do better so that we can have more examples of black love, healthy and healing black love. Black love does not have to be synonymous to struggle love. It can just be that black love, healthy, loud, and proud for the world to see.